Hey everyone, it's me again. It's been a long time. Finally got everything set up, so I'm hoping to get these going yet again. Today we have a great show for you. It's me and Mike doing a book review club, trying that out. We're talking about Dark Knight's Batman the One Who Laughs. And then in our second section of this podcast, we talk to Bryce and Glen as we playtest the next big mission for our ongoing league, and we try to talk about some D&D stuff and about running all that. And we hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and we'll see you at the end. Here we go. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to this week podcast or month. It's me back at Wizards Comics and with Mike.
Yo.
So what have you been caught up in reading, Mike?
I don't know, dude.
Just books.
Shit and stuff. I just did that Dark Side special. You heard any of those New God specials? Like these anniversary ones?
Like the annuals, like the big one-shot things?
Yeah, the big one shots. Like New Gods, Dark Side, fucking Newsboy Legion, I think Black Racer came out one week.
I have not read. I haven't read them, but I looked at them.
There's another one.
I know there's like the Forge. Those books were really good.
Yeah, no, those are different. You haven't read any of them?
No.
You should read the New Gods one. It was really cool.
This book is fucked.
Maybe just sweet. Yeah, right. That thing is jacked right up. This Sketch City, buddy. Sketch City.
Mouse.
Man, the worst thing about that is that you know Diamond like gets these things sent back to him as returns, and they try and pawn him back off on like poor unsuspecting savs like us.
Witches is coming back, which everyone seems to be excited for.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, yeah. Like it was cool. It was really scary. I really liked it. It being gone for so long was tough to get like excited for. Also, like the fact that like when we sold out of like the third issue, I never got a chance to read it. That always puts me in the style. It's kind of tough when a book is like really hard to get your hands on early on. Sometimes you just get frustrated. Did you read the paperback or whatever?
Of which?
Witches?
No, I have not.
You should check it out. It's cool. It's really cool art. People really like Jacques, the artist.
Jacques?
Yeah. I think he's pretty awesome. Like, people like really like him though. Like you know what I mean? Like, it's like me talking about like Jeff Johns or something, right? Like they really like the guy. Not to say they didn't deserve it, but I mean, it's not my favorite. See, the problem is that he does like really beautiful kind of painted art style and stuff, and it's really different and it's really cool for comics. But at the same time, it's not very comics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hello again. It is me, Will, and Mike.
Yo.
Well, I thought this would be a cool little section because we're kind of trying out ideas here on the podcast and we have the space, but we just recently read Batman, the One Who Laughs.
Dark Knight, Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah.
Dark Knights.
That was it was spoopy.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was so good. For those of you who haven't been following the Dark Knight series, it's a whole bunch of these like super dark alternate universes that were doomed to die, and the horrific nightmare Batman that come from there to take over our universe. And this one is like the weirdest one that they've been holding out on forever, like the Batman Joker hybrid. Like, how did he become that? What the hell? All that stuff. What'd you think?
I thought it was cool. It felt like what the true, like how Batman would go off and kill all the, like if Batman ever killed the Justice League, kind of like how he would and why he would do it.
Like, sorry, I'm trying not to like talk specifics.
Well,
but
spoiler
I agree,
alert.
like they definitely answered a lot of those questions of like how would he take everybody out or what would that be like, and they've definitely done lots of that with all these one shots as well. This one just felt like so creepy, so dark. You know, like Batman is just like so messed up in it.
So I guess we'll give a little warning here for spoilers, so you guys can skip a couple of minutes ahead. We'll give you some time here to do that. Okay, well, you guys have been warned. This has been spoiler. This is the spoiler time. So the book starts with it's this Joker-looking Batman guy talking to someone in a chair, and he has cards. And yeah, Batman. Then it goes to like Batman in this other universe fight. Like the city's exploding, and he's fighting this Joker, and something happens to him, and the Joker dies, and he gets this gas in him, and that's where you start seeing this turn and twist of Batman.
Man, I just want to talk about like the crazy pages. Hey, so
the children.
Yes, holy fuck! Like one after the other, lined up all the way around the block. That was so messed up. Like so, Joker has got Batman all tied up, like Will was saying, and he's created his origin story like 1,000 times. He's got families lined up around the block, and as they come around the corner, leaving the theater, he shoots the parents and injects the kids with Joker serum. Yeah, that's fucking.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite one.
That was so messed up. That's when I was like, oh my god, this book. This book is too much.
Oh,
and then Batman breaks free, of course, after like who knows how many kids' parents get murdered, and then he finally kills the Joker. That was super cool. Super cool.
Well, my favorite one is he has them in the Bat Cave, and he's like, I brought you here because you didn't suspect this, and he kills all the like Nightwing and Robin and that.
Yeah, that was messed up. I agree. I kind of saw it coming, but like not like right until like right before you turn the page, and all of a sudden he's gunning them all down, and big giant violent spurts of blood and whatnot too.
Yeah.
Just unreal.
Oh yeah, he takes down the Justice League. Like leaves Clark to kill his family.
You don't even get to see. Yeah, that was super dark. I like that. But you don't even get to see how he takes down the Justice League. They're just like laying around like the satellite, like murdered and torn apart and like mutilated and smashed to pieces.
Martian.
Yeah, the Martian
like
Manhunter's like mid transformation, like mid size shift. Did you see Hawkman's like?
Oh, I didn't see
outside. Hawkman. He's floating outside the space station. Like, yeah, they ejected him into space and he just died there.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's in the background. It was really cool.
So who is the artist and the writer for this book?
The artist, I believe, is James Tynion. The writer's James Tynion. Tynion the fourth, and Riley Rossmo. I thought Riley Rossmo, and he did Rasputin, his own creator-owned book, and like most recently for DC. That was a cool book, right?
Yeah.
I really like that story. His most recent creator-owned one was that. Did you read that Constantine the Hellblazer?
Yeah.
The one right before Rebirth?
Yep.
That one was really cool too. So he, I think, wrote. I know he wrote and drew Rasputin. I think he might have only drawn Hellblazer. And then he did that Night of the Monster Men paperback that just came out.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, like the third story arc or something like that. So he did that as well. And, yeah, man, I don't know. That dude draws the shit out of monsters. I don't know what you think, but...
So yeah, Dark Knight. The Dark Knight's Metal series has been really great, and I would highly recommend it, especially since we're starting to now see the coming of Watchmen being brought into DC.
Yeah. What do you think? Like... Metal is like a pretty apt title, I'd say.
Oh, Metal is definitely like for those older Batman fans, because reading like the Death Machine was like watching like a cartoon like Spawn back in the day. It's just like this darkish feel to it, but it's like just epic. It's every little boy's like metal dream.
Yeah. Totally, like epic is a good way to describe it. It is kind of spawny. I like that actually. Like even in the Murder Machine, because he did have like big giant guns, like and stuff like that, kind of in the '90s.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
I got a feel from that.
Yeah, kind of with the cover, Twisted Metal for sure. That was an awesome cover. Riding that big giant bat skull mobile thing.
Yeah.
There's a couple panels in there that just look like they belong like on the cover of like an Iron Maiden album or like Slayer, right? Like I just want like. Just like some of the stuff with like the dark multiverse or like Barbados's, invasion forces and stuff. It just looks so, messed up and like so metal, right? It's just like weird like skeletons that are like on fire, but the fire's purple, like surrounding this giant castle on a huge rock with like a black sky and red lightning. Like evil, freaking horrible demons flying around its peaks that you can't even quite see.
Wizards on Tigers.
Yeah, like horrible stuff. Like just awesome shit.
But yeah, I'm excited for the Doom Clock now because that seems like it was a tie into it.
Doomsday Clock?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? It's supposed to. I think Doomsday Clock's supposed to start before Metal finishes. I think they're trying to get it started before the end of the year. I think it's end of the month for Doomsday Clock. I think Metal ends at the end of December, I believe.
Oh, it's on. Oh, it's supposed to be this month.
Yeah, Doomsday Clock end of November.
Well, so how would you rate the Dark Knight Metal series in this book leading into the Doomsday event before it starts?
But with this Dark Knight's Metal thing, like, just like, as a standalone, I think it's super cool. Man. I don't know what you think. Like, but you don't even need to like know that much. Like, I was really into Snyder and Capullo's Batman run. And you get like some sweet throwbacks to some stuff that happened there, and you kind of realize that they've been like planning this event their entire, almost 8.5 years. You can also always just pick it, like it's just standalone awesome, right? You can just pick it up without knowing anything about it and just be like, he got a Green Lantern ring. Like, murdered their killer.
Yep.
Like, literally after they got shot. That sounds super gangster to me. So. That's what I mean, like, it's... Those kind of stories, like, really end up being the best ones because anybody can pick it up, but it has, like, enough staying power for the people who are, like, the every week, every month obsessive readers, you know? What did you think about, like, what do you think about the Metal event so far?
I've been loving it. Just like you said, it was not knowing much, stringing it on the side, and everyone putting books away. Like, they were a lot of fun, and it's kind of cool to see alternate stuff, like what they could have done in like more modern day art.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely take advantage of like modern day coloring techniques too, because the color in these books are fantastic. Greg Capullo art's always like.
Capullo is like Reborn. Reborn was really
Reborn
good.
was super pretty. That book was awesome. Fuck yeah.
Hey guys, that was our little segment in between the comic book of the
Review of the week.
You guys like this idea? We might keep it around. As always, you can come to your local bookstore like Wizards Comics here and pick up your copy today. It's out Wednesday the 15th of November.
It's called Dark Knight's The Batman Who Laughs. Totally come and check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Mike.
And I'm Will. We will see you guys in the next segment. I'm here with Bryce yet again for our Warhammer After Night, or at Warhammer After Dark, I guess we can call it.
We're beta testing.
Again. And our friend that we know, Glen.
Hello, everyone.
So
Please don't try to act cool.
I'm not.
You
Cool.
are.
I'm not cool. It's the thing.
Glen is cool. He goes outside and he is the ice.
Tis true.
So, I guess tonight, we're playtesting the Mission 7. We're more awake, or at least I'm more awake than last time. Last time we were like energy drink fueled midnight studying
That's
of an
because we were
alien.
still trying to build terrain for the last
Oh,
event.
yeah.
And then we were giving advice to build your terrain before the last day of building a terrain.
Yeah. So I guess tonight, as we're playing this game, Bryce is playing against Glen. This mission is the players are going to this great beast / they're walking in this great beast that the Tyranids have rise up from the ground and are attacking the unknown players. So now the players are trying to kill this beast and take control of the Tyranids or destroy them. And Glen is trying to eat all the players and get them away from his nest.
Rawr.
-2.
So 2 5-ups.
Yep. This thing is actually a pretty awesome monster, even though it's homemade.
Yeah.
1 failed.
So I guess we talked about Warhammer and running tournaments and stuff last time.
Yep.
Tonight I want to talk about D&D, RPGs.
Well, 1 and 2.
Playing D&D?
Yeah. No, we're playing Warhammer now, but I mean like talking about other gaming.
Did it say both?
1 and 2.
I wanted to do some neither.
Neither.
So what's it at for wounds now? You gotta keep track of that. Put some dice there.
It was at 16
It was at
minus 2,
16.
14.
Yep, it's at 14 now.
Yep. So, yeah, RPG talking. There's many of RPGs. There's the classics, of course, D&D, and Pathfinder, and then there's Shadowrun, which you like.
Starfinder.
Oh, Starfinder is so beautiful.
Alright, I'm going to do
excited
a
for that.
charge here.
So I guess we'll.
Actually, I'll shoot that first. One shot.
How was your last game of Starfinder, Shadowrun?
Mine?
Yeah. Since you play the sci-fi things.
The last time I played Shadowrun, I was fighting the zombie horde for all dear life, trying to kill
The battle suits.
about 100+ zombies, and our team managed to stumble across some crazy looking suits of armor that allowed us to actually fight zombies without being killed. 2 wounds.
Then.
-1.
Oh, 2 4-ups.
What about your side, Glenn? What happened for Pathfinder?
So,
Short full sentences.
Yikes.
what happened was we were part of our Pathfinder group on Monday, on Tuesday. Then, oh man, I'm so distracted at the moment of this game.
There was the dragon.
Wow.
There's the dragon that we were still working for, and then
The Drake, yeah. But then, you and the Dryad were going to the town to get help. And as you two are doing that, our friend that we ran into from the tower, the dwarf fortress back town, we got back to him, and I started a fight with the kobolds. Well, I didn't start it. Well, I made a distraction to make our friend Rocky do a fight with them.
Yeah, they ended up having to work for a dragon undercover, and they did as much as they can to sabotage the work so that we can go and get help to kill this thing. And then this knight, air quotes, that happens, air quotes, to be there, came to help us, air quotes, again. But I bring this up too because we talked about running Warhammer last time, and Splatoon 2 is doing a Splatfest now. That's fantasy RPGs versus sci-fi. So I want to talk about running and playing D&D, especially as a DM. And as a player, of course. So, where would you guys recommend for playing? I know we have me especially, that loves the sci-fi side of things. And then we have some of our friends who really love the fantasy side. What one do you guys prefer?
For locations, you're asking?
For like just settings, like what type of
Fantasy, for sure. But it depends on where you want to go, really. Some like sci-fi, some like fantasy.
My advice is, depending on the genre that you prefer, to pick one and then keep your options open, because inevitably one will get slower for you, and then you'll find a need for a new thing to pique your friend's interest. Like me, I started with D&D, and then I switched to Shadowrun because it was more futuristic, and then I switched to Last Crusade because that was battleships in the sky and had great similarities to Warhammer.
I started with
Did you
Pathfinder.
charge at me?
I failed.
Okay.
Well, this new creature's interesting. It has a very, very D&D facet to him. He makes for quite the entertaining creature. He wasn't incredibly difficult to wound, but I am well aware that he is fairly tough for
He's gonna have a fun time
monster.
stacking.
He's got an excellent set of close combat stats. Out of beta test, I'm not supposed to know that, but the model has large claws all over it, so it's kind of obvious that it's gonna try and chew you in close combat.
Alrighty, so I moved it.
I find these games to be more fun than the standards these
It
days.
does not have psychic, so I go straight to
No,
assault.
it does have psychic.
What?
Read your character stats, please.
Okay, cast 2 stuff. Players can drive. Okay.
So, like I was saying, I started with 2nd, 3rd, and then 1 and 2, 3.5 in Pathfinder, and I started running that at my work
Index.
also now. What?
There's
Index?
He lost his index.
Okay. So yeah, and when we started running that was a lot of fun. We're doing the Adventurers League, and now we're also getting into the Starfinder Society and Pathfinder Society things, and we have 2 DMs. running. I'm a table, and we also have a guy who's donating his time to be a DM. But yeah, I just chose a game that I liked. I played with my friends and got them into it. Yeah, that's kind of my introduction. Just as a DM all the time, not really ever a player. Your first time, Glen, playing D&D was with me at
Gamers
Gamers
Alley.
Alley. We were playing 4th.
Yeah.
What was your first time playing?
With my buddy Callum at his place.
What you played?
Ooh, D&D 4th edition. My caster
Horsey.
really sucked.
Horsey.
Smite. Almost forgot that. He's not in range. On to them.
So basically do that. Say don't work too hard. You don't need
7.
too much.
So it's the D3 one.
I
No.
resist.
Yeah, you
Oh,
definitely resist.
It's a lot easier to start than like Warhammer was. You don't need a lot. Just like rule books, dice that you can lend out, pencils,
Alrighty.
table space.
Now I'm going to
I
assault.
would recommend a whiteboard or a
Right.
mat that you can put eraser markers on, so you can drop your maps real quick. Your party will like it more. They come cut in squares, so you don't have to worry about movement or anything like that. And
Regular.
they're easy to change.
So I'm going to assault you now. I mean, like, I'm obviously close, so.
Nom nom nom.
Oh, you do your Overwatch.
So we did that. We only got like a few people here and there.
Guns. Nope.
And then once
Alrighty.
people put the word out,
secondary.
we had actually a bunch of people now coming, enough that
That's
we
it.
need 2 tables.
And I mean, like, 9, but I'm definitely in range.
Which then brings up the next topic of paid or unpaid.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
If you're gonna run D&D from your house, no.
No.
If you're gonna run D&D from a business,
Yes.
maybe.
That
50-50.
D&D really doesn't require a lot. If the
No.
business is going to go out of the way to give you real terrain, real character pieces, they'll take care of all your information, they'll tell you what's good for your character, they'll tell you what's not. Maybe paid then is good because they're not really having you pay to play, they're having you pay to use all their amazing things and
Yeah,
for them
you-
to teach you how to play.
you're basically renting a DM and using a space. But a lot of the time, Pathfinder Society and D&D Adventures League, they really push the whole free to come off the street and try it.
Here's a question. For my behemoth, would that be as the HQ, or would my Flyron still be the HQ?
Your flyer is an HQ. He is also an HQ. He's just a
Also.
mandatory one that you have. to
Okay, so would he be getting a Warlord trait, or would the Flyron?
take. You can give them either or.
Hmm.
I haven't thought of a warlord trait to make him.
Okay, so maybe I'll just give it to my Flyron this time.
Yeah.
The +1 attack one, so...
Oh, did you read that? You don't have to worry about synapse with him?
No, I know.
Yeah, that's a nice... Actually, I think that might just be the warlord trait. That would seem like one. Warlord trait, which makes him have to be your warlord, and that all your dudes don't have to worry about... All your dudes count as being in synapse.
Which would be weird, but... I'll tell you the pros and cons about that after the game, but aside from that...
I see no cons to that.
To what?
Having all your creatures always in synapse.
They can't fail leadership anymore, so falling back's not an option for them.
But they're not really supposed to. They're defending their home.
Not really, no.
So...
Alrighty, so...
You can go paid and
6 attacks
support
on
your
them,
your local store.
2s to hit.
But you can also go free at a store and run and have you run it because you want to help the
And
community.
if I remember, the reroll 1...
Plus,
which-
anyone, you don't have to own a business, can run a D&D event with
Now,
Citizens
is
of the
this
Coast.
for hit or to wound or just both? It
So-
says reroll once, but I don't
everything?
know. Okay.
You roll once everything, even including your feel no pain. So
Maybe write that down on there, cause.
reroll once. It says reroll.
Yeah,
once.
but like, okay, reroll once on what? Aside from me questioning that, somebody else would have as well.
So if you're doing it at your local store as
Strength
donating
10.
time, then do it for free. Get those new players in and play, and possibly maybe get them
Oh,
to buy
shit,
a
I
book
forgot
or
to
dice
see
from the
detail.
store.
I'll do that after.
And then if you're running it yourself as a business, maybe
Toughness.
5.
5.
So 2s to wound.
Yeah, if you're doing it as a business, I'd say don't charge until you have like constantly group and you need to
4 minus 2 APs.
rent out the
4 minus
DM
2
that
is
works
okay.
at your store. Because if you're paying him hourly
first
or
one.
whatever you pay him,
Nope. Second one. Yep.
I would
5.
recommend you
One,
get
two,
players to
3.
pay for a campaign,
Cocked.
so that way it's covered.
Nope.
Your store's making money and you can
3
cover
make
the
it 2.
pay.
Damage?
AP D3.
Okay, so roll 3d3 for them so that I can tell how disgustingly resilient my guys get to be.
Disgustingly, like snot-wise.
Oh, yeah.
So,
1, 2, and 3.
do you guys play Mat or Theater of the Mind? What do you prefer?
It's really dependent. For dungeon, mat is better. When you're in combat, mat is better because then you can see how many squares you're away from the enemy and how far you have to move to get there. It helps to understand what's going on in the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
For places like towns, cities, areas where the distance that you move is not important when you're not in combat, Theater of the Mind is always better when your DM comes out and says, imagine this brilliant castle standing on a snow-covered hill in between two other mountains. Making that in a picture is difficult. Plus, the castle itself would be difficult to map. So it's better to let Theater of the Mind take over, and your characters will make a beautiful scene for you.
Strength 7 against toughness 5. Oh yeah, that's right. That's from the...
So, I think a lot of games, it depends on the game.
Strength,
Classic D&D, you didn't need no maps for anything. Like Shadowrun, you don't really need maps.
Strength 7, toughness 5, that would be 3s to wounds.
But for 4th edition, you definitely needed maps. That game was pure mechanics. So if your game is a mechanic heavy one, I feel you need a map.
Minus 3 AP.
Hey, kitty.
I'm good.
This is also not considering about Roll20. Roll20 is a thing.
That's my close combat. Do you run?
Roll20 is a website
Yes,
that
right.
is a virtual tabletop that you can play on.
2 blade axes.
It's any
And then a light
RPG you
flail.
want. It's free.
So 2 axes first. 2 hits.
Toughness 8.
Okay. 5s. 2 hits. Minus 1 AP.
So 4 of armor.
Yep.
Have you guys played on Roll20? I know you have, Glen.
Yeah.
Have you played on Roll20?
I'm not even sure what it is.
It's a virtual tabletop
Nope.
online that you can
2
play.
and 3.
What's your armor save?
3 up. But I rolled
So-
tried doing 4 up because of the minus 1. And then 4 up, feel no pain.
Takes another wound.
So 13 now.
Okay, flails.
So you can play any game on there. It saves your character sheet.
1 hit.
Save your mats. Just
3
knock that in my
attacks.
hand, kitty. Yeah.
5s and 6s.
I'd recommend checking it out. This
2
time I will
wounds.
promise to put the links into the
3
chat.
wounds each. So roll 2 saves.
Any
Minus 2.
Okay, I was going to say, so
Yep.
2 5-ups.
Smack that, kitty.
Neither pass. So then you have to make 6 feel no pains.
Tell us a little bit more about Shadowrun, I guess, since then we can get more into this Roll20
3 did not
business and
make
how to
it.
play, where to play.
Okay, so it takes 3 more wounds.
So 10 now.
Shadowrun's really entertaining if you like futuristic events, but it chooses you to be wiser. In D&D, you go from town to town, you generally pay like 5 silver, or you can go out in the woods. Shadowrun actually forces you to think. It'll make you pay for your lifestyle, it'll make you pay for your events. You're not going from one day to another like in D&D, where you go on an adventure to fight a dragon, and then the next day you go on an adventure to kill bandits. In Shadowrun, it does it over spans of months. So after you do one event like go stop a monstrous group of drug addicts with a troll, that's 1 month's worth of events, so days occur over time. You have to be very careful because in D&D you'll find people that will betray you, but generally the populace is quite kind. And in Shadowrun they're all awful and they're all trying to cheat you most of the time. Like D&D, Shadowrun has dragons and elves and everything else, but you're looking at a futuristic event, so guns and stuff like that exist. But so does magic. So you have a lot of fun trying to figure out what's going on half the time, and how not to get shot by it, burned by it, or set on fire by it.
I know it also had like the weird damage system and that everything runs on a D6.
The combat system is completely controlled by D6s, unlike D&D where it's all
D20.
D20s, occasional D6s, your damage is done on D8s and things like that. Shadowrun runs solely on D6s, where you roll a group of 6s, and if your number of 1s outmatches more than half of the numbers that you rolled, you suffer what's called a critical glitch, in which something terrible happens to your character. And if you get 5s and 6s, you count as passing. And the more 5s and 6s you get, the better you pass that test. The more it'll work for you.
If there's a critical glitch, they must have agreed to the terms of a virus website.
Well then,
Shush.
they went on to some naughty sites on their nanobots. That robo arm was there for a reason.
Hey, my character's a almost complete robot. Virus free, by the way.
For now.
Alright, that thing's down to 10 wounds.
We know where you've searched.
Alright, I guess it's gonna be able to summon its army. This is your turn's now over.
Yep.
Top of my turn.
Yep.
That thing's gonna die before it gets a chance to do anything.
Oh no.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there's starting into this sort of thing, I guess, it's an interesting little adventure. Always going to places that play where they allow you to borrow their books and stuff to try it is a great idea. It's free, usually, for the most part.
From the warp.
You can also buy starter boxes. A lot of companies that make RPGs do sell a starter box. Like D&D's one is a full campaign with everything you'll need to play
I don't know if it's tough enough.
for $20. Like Pathfinder does one for a little bit more, but you get value that you can use in other games too.
3d6 flamethrowers?
At one time, Shadowrun did have a starter box, but it's been so long since they came out. And that was a pretty cool one. So, usually check online. They might have a digital one, or you can get one in the store ordered if they don't have it. With that in mind too, Roll20 is a great way to get started in any RPG that you want to try. I would highly recommend
6s.
making an account. It's
I burn it twice.
you choose what
Standard
day
save.
you want to play, you choose what hour you want to
Using
play,
their light spitters.
and you get your webcam for a microphone and
reroll. Wait, so if even it's one, it's regular saves as well, or no?
on everything.
So roll again.
Oh, interesting.
Still fail one. So takes a single wound. Oh, feel no pain.
Yep. On a 4-up.
Yep. Nice.
So yeah,
They can't shoot, they can't shoot, they can't shoot.
Roll20 saves
charge.
your progress, so you don't have to worry about
Charging.
stuff. It rolls dice for
Nice.
you. It has character sheets on there.
5, 6, 7.
Your DM will
full
usually
point to
take you
reroll.
through character creation. It's a lot of fun.
They fail. They're charged.
Check it out. Play some games. If you like it, go to your local store, pick up the
7's not
books.
enough. They have to come in 9 inches out, remember?
Right.
See, I already know if I don't make the 9, they don't make it in. Well, I have to make an 8 for that 1 inch cohesion.
But wouldn't it be within an inch away from the model base?
Yeah, so you have to make an 8 inch charge.
Right.
But I failed my charge because that would have been literally awful for that thing.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, so we'll go right into close combat. I'm going to have these guys attack it.
Okay.
I'm going to swing with the blight axes. Hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Rerolling failures to hit because blight weapons. Nope. Wounding 5s and 6s. 1 wound. Minus 1 AP.
So-
Minus 2 AP.
5-up armor.
Minus 2? Isn't that a 6 up?
I'm
Oh no, that's 5 up. Never mind.
I am brain dead
But I
now.
failed, so 4-up, feel no pain.
Yep.
We will be back with you
not.
guys
I
later
felt pain.
in the next section after this ad and I guess commercial break.
Both hit. Yep.
We'll talk to you guys after the
Hey,
break
how many
in the
damage
next
is this?
section
I have to roll
with
again now, 'cause
Warhammer After Dark. And like I said, thank you for waiting for us guys and for this next podcast and being patient with the whole editing process.
Freeze.
Leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. I hope you guys had fun. Have a good night. We hope to see you guys in the next podcast.